For some, competition is the only thing that matters, constantly fighting for every inch, every advantage, and every small victory. And so when new opportunities present themselves, the hungriest among us take what they can to propel their lives forward.
Streaming is definitely still a passion of mine, but at this current moment, competing is more important than anything. I think continuing to establish yourself at the top is, in the eyes of the community, it's the number one priority. And that's why there's such a disconnect between streaming and competing. So if you're not at the top all the time, you're going to be considered washed up or not good. So you got to keep pushing to be the best. Yeah, I mean, I see Fortnite as a game pushing the boundaries for the next 10 years to come. And myself playing it at a high professional level, I still feel like I haven't even peaked yet, to be honest. I still can see myself playing this game for another 4 to 5 years professionally. And then after that, maybe moving into a coach role or to a manager role, or somehow still being involved in the scene. I mean, yeah, my fire for Fortnite is still just as big. I think the difference between now and World Cup is now I play off and on, so I'll still play a solid 8 hours a day. Like, I'll still genuinely play the game for 8 hours a day. I'll still be on my computer and here doing something for 10 to 12, just like I would be at World Cup. But I think the difference is World Cup is I would genuinely be playing for 10 to 12 hours, and now I just play for 8 hours throughout the day. So yeah, it's off and on, but still the same amount of time that I put in. I think the biggest contributing factor to my success and how I've been able to stay at the top has been my work ethic and my determination. I mean, I genuinely don't think there's any other player that can do it like me for as long as I can. I think my mentality over these last few years just goes to show that it can pull through anything. XSET's amazing. I can't stress that enough, how much of a family experience that it's like to be on an org like XSET. It's very, very, very similar to what 100 Thieves was like. So the switch was just super easy for me. XSET's provided a bunch of opportunities for me to able to grow as a person, and they honestly cradle me more than anyone has ever. So they're really protective and making sure that that we're both moving in the right direction. I think back 2 years ago, dropping in and claiming a spot was all 100% about who you knew and who you were, rather than your performance at that current moment. But now with it completely forming, with it completely moving online, there's too many people, and some people just don't care, and they don't care who you are. I think there's a couple names in every region that they're just gonna have an uncon spot, or they're gonna have the best spot. But other than that, man, you can see now big names are still getting contested. So yeah, I don't these younger players, they just don't care. In this next year, we're gonna continue to see a lot of the older players quitting and moving on. That's just with life and maturing. And then just like how the first ever duo in CS was, there was players back then that you had no idea who they were, that were doing well, that you now know who they are, like the Acorns and the Jack. They were complete no names back then. And so yeah, now they're at the top, and they've established themselves. So I think you're going to continue to see that. You can look back in probably the first FNCS of trios, or this time last year, and see names that are now doing well, like Tragics, for example. It's going to continue to do that, and that's just the way Fortnite is. I think the most important thing in duos is building that teamwork, because it is just the two of you. And so playing off each other is really, really easy. In trios and in squads, you can kind of get lost in the fact that you have so many teammates and so many different opinions. But when it's just two of you, it's really easy to get caught up. But it also at the same time is really easy to improve.
With dreams of leaving a lasting impression on the gaming scene and a mark on this world through other exploits, Ceice has found himself in the ideal situation, constantly chasing opportunities to make a name for himself.